Are these possibly the most spinning wedges on the market? The new Mizuno T20 wedges. Today's video is a review, testing all the technology, testing the theory behind them, and giving you my overall opinion. So, first impressions with something that I've never looked at before or never even played is that I love the chrome finish, slightly thicker top line, but that's going to be for a certain reason in a second. But overall, I'm really excited to give this wedge a go. So before we get into the tech, it's worth noting that these Mizuno T20 wedges come in 3 different finishes. They come in the blue, the chrome which I've got here, and a rusty raw finish, which with some people might argue get a little bit more spin, maybe a little bit debatable, but I'll leave that one to you. So without further ado, I'm going to hit this one away. So this is the 50 degree, we've got a 54 and we've got a 58. So exactly the same wedges that I use, but this is in the Mizuno setup. Okay, wow, they look a little bit bigger than mine behind the ball. Quite a nice feeling off the face, a little bit of a clunky sound, but okay, first impressions, oh, that they look pretty good. So the first bit of technology is the change in shape from the 46 all the way up to the higher degree wedge in the 58. They've got a more teardrop shape in the lower lofted wedges, and as you go up the bag to your 58 and your 60 degrees, they come in a little bit more of a rounded shape. Now Mizuno is saying that this is to help versatility around the green, and the more teardrop shape is to help you with those longer wedge shots. For example, on your 46 and your 50, where you're more likely to hit them full out. So we're going to test that theory in today's video and actually see what they're like around the green, are they versatile, and do they do what they say on the tin. So like I said at the start of the video, this is something that I've never tried before, Mizuno wedges, so brand new to me and my own golf game. And I'm super impressed with how they feel and how they look. I want to now test some longer shots, because for me to give a fair review of what these actually feel like and play like, I need to hit a lot of shots. So now we're going to move on to a fuller shot in the 50 and 54 and give you, let's have a look what they play like there. We know the technology, let's see what happens. So as I place these wedges down the ground from my 50 to my 54 to my 58, you can see the subtle change from a more teardrop shape to a more rounded shape. Now it's only subtle, it's probably something that you wouldn't really notice too much apart from the fact that you're more aware of it because I've now said about that technology, but definitely seeing that change from back to front, from your 50 all the way through to your 58. Now for me, that's one of the small talking points associated around these wedges. I'm more interested in this face because apparently Mizuno have developed technology that helps you get just as much spin, if not more, when the ground is wet. Yes, when the ground is wet. Well, how are they doing that? Before we get into these grooves and the technology associated around this, let's set another shot away. So I've hit one with a 50, I'm now going to go with a 54. I've got 60 yards here. Let's just see a nice little pitch shot. So again, down behind the ball, they actually look very appealing, and I actually quite look the clumpiness of them. I quite like that actually. And for people that probably struggle with their wedges, it's probably actually a good thing it looking a little bit thicker, a little bit more forgiving, even if it is a little bit placebo. Okay, here we go. That wasn't half bad, was it? We're now moving on to one of those shorter shots. I got my 58 degree, not a lot of room between the fringe and the flag. So this is where this wedge becomes a little bit more rounded. Now, like I said before, Mizuno is saying that this helps versatility around the green. So better for longer shots in the more teardrop shape. And as we get to the more rounded shape, that really helps us in terms of these shorter shots. And I promise you, we'll get onto the technology in the face. Well, that's spinny. Wow, did you see that stop? Okay, so what's my opinion of that? Straight away, I like the feel. not quite liking the sound, but one thing I really do like is how they look behind the ball. Okay, without further ado, what technology have they got in the face? The first thing that Mizuno is saying is that what they put into this face, the HydroFlow micro grooves. Sounds complicated, sounds like a big word. Is it a marketing ploy? Who knows? So what are they? They're saying that these are vertically etched into the face, and this helps release moisture, and that helps you maintain spin in wet conditions. So for example, in wet conditions, not super wet right now, but there's definitely some moisture on the ground, when you get a little bit of water between the ball and the face, generally that reduces spin. This technology is set to help maintain that same spin. So that's the first thing we're going to notice in this new technology. Okay, let's chip this one away again. God, I do like the look of this with 58. That is so spinny. Oh my lord. And it's super wet on that face. Okay, that's not all that is about this technology. There is even more technology in this face than that. Well, as the lofts changing shape from the teardrop shape to the more rounded shape in your higher lofted wedges, the grooves do too. In your 58 degree, they're going to be wider and shallower for your partial shots around the green. So everything we're talking about here in terms of the face, this is to help maintain spin, create spin. So ultimately, you could argue that these could be one of the spinniest wedges on the market at the minute, because they've got so much technology associated around spin. Now, as you go through the bag and down towards your lower lofted wedges, they're going to be slightly different in the way they're made up. They're going to be deeper and narrower in their groove makeup in your lower lofted wedges. So everything about what their wedges have done here is you've got different shape design, different head design, being able to move the center of gravity around. Absolutely everything associated around with these T20 wedges are used to help maintain spin, help create spin, and give you versatility around the green. So it sounds like there's a hell of a lot of technology gone into these. I'm really enjoying actually testing these, because these are exactly the same wedge lofts that I carry. It's almost like throwing what I've already got, but with different technology and different look. I actually really like the chrome finish. I know we said they come in 3 different finishes: chrome, blue, and the raw finish, and that's something that I would probably game, the raw one. But it's also worth noting that they come in different lofts than I've got here, but also the different sole configurations as well. So I'm going to put a little bit on the side of the screen here and look at what actually different options they offer. So it's worth noting that all my reviews, I think it's really important that we actually do try these clubs on the course. Now, we see a lot of the reviews, and this is no dig at any of the people that do reviews, but very often we don't see how they perform on the course and how actually, what do they look like in their game environment. We've done that with today's wedges. We've looked at the Mizuno T20 wedges. We've got the 50, 54 and 58s. So let's just review and summarise the technology that's inside them. Remember, the head slightly changed from a teardrop shape to a more rounded shape in the higher lofted wedges. And then we've got the micro hydro vertically etched grooves. Okay, big mouthful again. But ultimately their wedges and their grooves and the technology in them help maintain spin and get rid of moisture if they get a little bit of wet on the face. And I think that's a really cool thing, especially playing in the UK, where predominantly, especially this time of year, there's a little bit of dew on the ground, a little bit of moisture. So that's going to be a really good thing. And like I said at the start of the video, I've never actually used Mizuno wedges, and I'm really impressed. I really like the look of these wedges, even though some people may say they look a little bit clumpy on that top line. I like that. That's something for me who actually struggles with hitting fuller wedges. I think really helps, gives me that perception, even though it's a bit placebo, of almost looking like more of a normal iron in the lower lofted wedges, and then still got that versatility with it looking slightly different, more rounded in the higher lofted wedges. So straight away, these wedges are a massive thumb up from me. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed this review, and leave me a comment down below. What wedges are you actually gaming at the minute, and will these make it into my bag?